Alright guys, this is my new intake manifold. It's one very beautiful intake. But first we gotta build it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. In this episode we are doing another intake manifold. That's right, we are building one from scratch because I got tired of trying to make something work out of something that's not gonna work, and I decided it'd be better to just build one from scratch. That way I can figure it out and make it work, hopefully. This is my first intake manifold that I built from scratch, and my second time ever welding aluminum. So keep in mind before you go crazy in the comments. But yeah, let's get right to it. Alright guys, so first thing first, I took the stock manifold from the Audi A4, cut off everything after the fuel rail once again, and I gotta make a connector plate or like adapter plate. So I went in and traced the 4 holes and cut out the circles where the ports can go in, and then from there I'm gonna add on to whatever I build on top of it. So that's what I'm doing right here. So I got cardboard, scissors, and I already cut this piece out, and so I'm gonna try to make a template out of cardboard, and then we're gonna cut it out of this, and then got some Oregon tank, and then we're gonna tack it, weld it, see how it goes, and that's the plan. Alright guys, so I got this whole piece welded on. It's legit. And then the fuel rail's all good, clearing everything. Now it's time to build this, whatever this is, box to go right in here. And then my idea is I also have to make room for this thing. So it's probably gonna go right there. But so yeah, so I'm gonna making a template of cardboard that I'm gonna cut out of this piece right here, and then weld it all up. Alright, so I got the first two plates welded on. And now I'm gonna cut out these sides. And then the back side. And then make a template for this thing. So I have 4 bolts. That's gonna go right there. Alright, so right here I'm using the stock 1.8 manifold out of a Jetta. I like the way the throttle cable adapter, whatever was right in the front. And so since I had a lot of cars that I used for this build, because I used the O2 Jetta for the bell housing, and so I ended up saving a lot of parts. And so with the intake manifold, that's why you see me cutting right here, the end part where the throttle body connects to. And I figured it would make a really good adapter, because on the 1.8 Audis, the adapters is on the side, which is harder to cut out. And so that's what I'm using right there. And for you guys that are wondering why everything slides on my table, yes, it's not secured properly, and yes, I am working on a bracket, or I'm planning or adding on that list of things to do. It's just I have a lot of things underneath the table, and where I want to put a bracket is just, well, it's literally like the shop was built to millimeters from things. Like my welder goes like maybe ½ an inch right underneath the table. And so like I also have the cart and then the trash can, and so like I have to figure out how I can secure it really good. But for the most part it works. It does its job. And yes, you see me welding and burning holes through the wood because it's wooden, and it's just wood. It could be replaced any day. Just take it out, take the bolts out and throw it out, and you will actually see me in the next episode or two painting it because it looks so terrible. But yeah, so it is what it is. I have to make it work. This thing's gonna get cut off, so it's gonna be nice and smooth. I had to make sure I have room for a dipstick that goes right there. Right there. So that's why there's this room. And then we got some good space between the brake booster and the intake. And now we have to figure out how to install this thing. So this is a cutoff from the original. I wanted to keep that hole for the sensor. Alright guys, so I got this piece cut out. It's gonna go right there on the edge. I also got one of these cut out from one of the intake, the originals. And so I'm gonna weld it on like this first, and then I'm gonna weld this on there. And then this will just go. Alright guys, so check it out. I put everything together. This is just tightened on 2 bolts, but I got this thing on, fuel rail on, and I got access to all the bolts, which is nice because with my last attempt of welding an intake manifold, I had a hard time reaching the bolts. But for the most part, the intake is done. Also on this side, I decided to add a little support bracket. That way it can support all this weight. And got my sensor on here. And the only thing that this intake is missing is vacuum lines. So the idea is, well, I cut this one off the old manifold. And I picked this one up, but it's too small. So instead of trying to guess what size I need at the store, I decided to cut these pieces out. I need one of these, 2 sizes of this size, and 2 little ones for vacuum. So the idea is to pick up one of these, but the bigger size. And I want to tap this on the back side right here. And instead of tapping 5 of these things into the manifold, I decided I want to try to find a vacuum box that will go good somewhere over there. So instead of having 5 of these sticking out of the manifold, I'm just gonna tap one and connect it to a box, and then from the box it'll go to all the fun stuff that's supposed to be somewhere around here. And so that's gonna be in the future sometime, because I gotta go do some shopping, because it's one of those things where you work on something and then you gotta go figure it out. And then also on this manifold, I gotta figure out, well, I gotta build a new custom throttle cable, and I gotta figure out a bracket that will hold it. Well, this thing's supposed to be like this over here somewhere. So I'm also looking into that, so our future episode is gonna have all that fun stuff included. But for the most part, it is done. Alright guys, that is it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you let me know down below. And if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe, because we are getting closer and closer to pulling everything out. That's right. So I just have to work on a few more things and everything's gonna come out, and we're gonna paint this thing on the inside. So anyway, have a great day and we'll see you next time.